evening. I'm Tracina Gray with a CTV News update. The census data is out and the results show a huge shift in the population. For the first time, the nation's white population declined. Maryland's white population is now at 47%, down from 55% in 2010. At the same time, the Hispanic and Asian populations rose. For Hispanics, it went from 8% in 2010 to 12% in 2020. For Asians, it went from 5.5% to 7%. Maryland's black population remained at 29%. Here in Prince George's and Montgomery counties, the Hispanic population went up, but the number of black residents decreased from 5 percentage points. CTV spoke earlier with Dr. ALVIN Thornton about the issue.
Now we know that whites are now about 63%, 64% of the American population. Latino about 19%, black people about 12 or 13%, and Asians about 6%. So where we put these people in congressional districts will determine who has power. That battle is just starting. And it's going to be a very major battle, as well it should be, right, in our democracy. That's why you hear so much fighting over how redistricting is going to take place, who's going to do redistricting, whether or not there'll be gerrymandering, whether there'll be dilution of certain people's votes, particularly black people's votes, but that's what's going on now.
The numbers are significant because the data will be the basis for redrawing political maps and shape the distribution of federal spending. Immigration advocates say they're elated about a resolution making its way through Congress. The measure would include funding for immigrants and a pathway to citizenship for undocumented people. The provisions were part of a budget package that recently passed the Senate.
This resolution that passed, we are expecting up to 8 million or so undocumented folks to benefit from this effort. And so when we talk about undocumented, we're kind of also throwing into the mix the DACA holders, the TPS holders, folks who were previously undocumented. We're really hoping that this stays together in the package and makes it through the House, the Senate again, and it lands on the president's desk to kind of move forward. It's really going to dramatically influence and change the lives of 8 million folks. And we know without a shadow of a doubt that the economic impact that these communities have on our economy is a net plus. The CBO has scored this favorably. We know that this is an economic investment that favors our country, our well-being, and coming out of a pandemic, that's what we need.
Meanwhile, the family of a University of Maryland student who died after an outbreak of adenovirus on the College Park campus in 2018 is suing the school and 2 former officials. The lawsuit claims that 18-year-old Olivia Paragal was assigned to an overcrowded dorm and that mold was rampant before students moved into the building. The suit filed in Prince George's County also claims that the school failed to report the outbreak until after Paragal's death, 18 days after the first reported cases of the virus on campus. Former university president Wallace Lowe and former health center director Dr. David McBride are also named in the lawsuit. A federal indictment charges 4 men with drug distribution, conspiracy involving cocaine, heroin, and fentanyl. 2 of the defendants were from Prince George's County. Their names are Nelson Serrano Munoz and Eric Von Sander. The men were allegedly supplied cocaine to a confidential source. Each could face up to 20 years in federal prison. You're watching CTV News. I'm Tracina Gray. Still ahead, a local university is cited after deceased animals were found in research labs. We'll have that story and more when we return.
1 in 365 African Americans battle sickle cell disease. I was one of them. Life back then was painful. I was in and out of the hospital and had frequent pain crises. A blood stem cell transplant is the only cure for sickle cell disease. I was fortunate to find a perfect match in my younger sister, but many patients do not have a compatible donor in their families, and Black patients have only a 23% chance of finding an unrelated donor. More Black donors are urgently needed to help save lives. It only takes a simple cheek swab to join the Be the Match registry. Learn more about becoming a donor and access free patient resources by visiting endsicklecell.org today. You or someone you know could be the cure for a patient battling sickle cell, like me.
Welcome back. Schools return to in-person classes in just a few weeks, but some parents are still reluctant to get their children immunized. Dr. Gabrina Dixon of Children's National Hospital says prior to the pandemic, she was seeing a decrease in kids not getting their routine vaccinations. State law requires that students get the appropriate shots before heading to school. Just this week, the state launched a campaign to encourage parents to get their child's immunization records up to date. Dixon says not doing this could potentially lead to consequences.
It's so important. When we don't have kids vaccinated, we get outbreaks of preventable diseases. So when we see these measles outbreaks in communities, it's because people weren't getting vaccinated. People who were able to get vaccinated were not getting vaccinated. That's why we see these outbreaks. Think of something called chickenpox. So when I was a kid, many people had chickenpox. I actually did not get chickenpox. I got vaccinated against chickenpox. So I never had chickenpox. And you see now kids don't get chickenpox anymore. That's because of vaccines.
For more information on immunizations for young people, visit childrensnational.org. In other news, if you still need to get your COVID-19 shots, head on over to Creative Suitland this Sunday. The organization is hosting a vaccination clinic from noon to 3:30 p.m. It's partnering with the University of Maryland Capital Region Health to administer the Pfizer vaccine. Director MALACHI Robinson says he's hoping for at least 50 people to roll up their sleeves.
This will be in conjunction with our current outdoor market, our farmers market, as well as our poetry and produce program that's happening every Sunday at Creative Suitland from 12 to 4. So it's hopefully a good way to bring people into the space and have them just feel comfortable with, you know, the open mics and the featured poets, the farmers market, and different things happening on site, and then hopefully get vaccinated and go back and enjoy, you know, the activities that are going on outside.
For more information, visit creativesuitland.org. The District of Columbia and Prince George's are reporting a high transmission of the coronavirus that's prompted local school officials to now require employees to get the vaccine or submit to weekly testing. Here are the latest numbers. Of the 950 newly confirmed cases statewide, 162 are in Prince George's. The county's rising positivity rate of 6.38% is nearly 2 percentage points higher than the state's number. 5 people have died of COVID in Maryland since yesterday. 492 remain hospitalized. The Maryland Department of Health will be awarding $48 million in mental health and substance abuse grants throughout the state. Several services, including suicide prevention efforts, will receive the additional funding later this month. Officials say the money will support and strengthen programs for residents who are severely impacted and for those who don't have other resources. $16 million will go to the Community Mental Health Service Block Grant, and $32 million will go to the Substance Abuse Prevention and Treatment Block Grant. The state received the congressional funding as part of a coronavirus supplement last year. The University of Maryland is cited after a number of animal deaths are discovered at research labs on campus. According to WJLA, the critical citation of the Animal Welfare Act was issued by the USDA last year. In one incident, a guinea pig didn't receive post-op painkillers during a 2019 experiment. Another wasn't monitored for 2 days after surgery and had to be euthanized. In addition, cows that were used in a 2019 study became seriously ill and 2 died. And in 2018, 76 mice were found dead by staff after someone entered the lab and euthanized the animals. The violations were exposed by the organization Stop Animal Exploitation Now through a Freedom of Information Act request. And coming up, young scholars kick off the back-to-school season with players from the Burgundy and Gold team. Stay right there. More after the break.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I I think I finally found a place to make my own, a place that I call home, this place that I call home.
Welcome back. Did you know that August is National Black Business Month? Well, it's a time to celebrate the impact of those businesses across the county and the country. This is video of A Place to Walk To in Hyattsville. It's one of 2.6 million Black-owned businesses in the United States. Here in Maryland and Prince George's County, about 1/3 of all businesses are Black-owned. David Harrington of the Prince George's Chamber of Commerce says this focus on these is more important now than ever.
The pandemic, we lost almost half of Black businesses. Well over 40% of Black businesses are totally lost and likely never to come back. Those who are hanging on are struggling. And so I think at this time more than ever, we need to support Black businesses in a way that they can withstand this pandemic and also be sustainable and grow.
We'll have more with David Harrington next week. National Black Business Month was first celebrated in 2004. She published her first book at 8 years old. Now at 13, she's a published author of not just 1, but 4 novels.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Zari. She was a happy girl. Zari loved playing with her friends in the park. Every Friday night, she looked forward to playing board games with her mom and dad.
This is JAYDA Mayfield. She's reading her latest work called Princess Zari. It's about a little girl who wants to be a princess. Inspired by the story, she created a doll that came out last month.
Growing up, we didn't have too many African American dolls. There is much more out there today, but I kind of wanted to be a part of that.
And what are you hoping that other little girls can kind of get out of the doll that you created?
I hope that they can take from that all skin colors are beautiful, especially their skin color is beautiful. And I also hope to inspire them to do big things in the world one day and to follow your dreams.
Mayfield is currently working on her 5th book, which will be a sequel to her Thunder Twin series. As students get ready to head back to the classroom, the school system is set to give out free backpacks to students. The district will host a back-to-school drive and dash event next Saturday, August 21st. The annual giveaway will take place at 3 high schools that are Oxon Hill, High Point, and Flowers. Eligible students will also have the chance to get a COVID-19 vaccine at Flowers High School. The giveaway event is from 9 a.m. until noon. For more information, visit pgcps.org. The Washington Football Charitable Foundation holds its 7th annual back-to-school fair at FedEx Field today. 1,000 pre-registered children received a package of school supplies, including uniform polos, books, and backpacks. They were also given access to dental and vision exams. The 1st through 5th graders were identified with need through the foundation. Football team alumni were presented to greet families and assist youth. Other entertainment included DJs and raffles. Let's get a quick 3-day check on our weather forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a chance of evening showers and a low around 75. Saturday, showers and thunderstorms throughout the day with a high near 89. Sunday, partly sunny with a high near 82 and a slight chance of showers. Monday, partly sunny with a high near 82. And now for the community calendar. Speak up and help make a difference. That's the name of a nonprofit coalition hosting a youth anti-violence rally. Organizers are looking for members of the community to come out and support the end of gun violence and carjacking among youth. The event is tonight from 5 until 7 p.m. in Forestville. For more information, contact Tanya Smith, 301-538-0613. And that wraps up our newscast. Thanks for watching. Be sure to tune in Monday evening. I'm Tracina Gray. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend.